Welcome back to the deep dive. I hear this all the time from young professionals. It's this constant juggle, right? Deadlines, the inbox that just never empties, feeling like you're always on. It really makes you wonder, how do you stay sane with all that digital noise?
Well, today we're going to dive into something that might sound a bit unexpected for modern stress relief. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius, like the Roman emperor.
Exactly. But hold on, before you picture us in togas, this
Yeah.
isn't some dusty history lesson, I promise. Marcus was essentially running the most powerful, let's call it, corporation of his time. And these writings, meditations, they were his personal reflections, notes to himself on staying effective, staying, well, sane in really chaotic times. What's amazing, truly, is how much of it reads like an operating manual for dealing with today's workplace pressure.
Wow, okay, that's fascinating. So our mission for this deep dive then?
Yeah, our mission is to pull out 3 super practical, actionable stress management tips inspired directly by his meditations.
And we're talking real workplace stuff, like deadlines, tough meetings.
Absolutely. We'll use examples like tight deadlines, tricky meetings, maybe pressure from the boss, things everyone faces. And we'll give you quick exercises you can actually do. Plus, we've got a story, sort of composite, to show how it works in practice. No theoretical fluff here. Just simple, effective mental moves for when things feel overwhelming. Ready to dig in?
Let's do it. So, okay, managing stress. Where does Marcus Aurelius even start? What's the foundation for finding calm when everything's chaotic?
Right. His absolute bedrock principle, the thing he comes back to over and over, is this really clear distinction. What's in your control versus what's not?
Okay.
He hammers this point home. Your judgments, your choices, your actions, where you put your attention, that stuff is yours. You command that. But the external stuff, what other people think, random delays, office politics,
Yeah.
a lot of that is just outside your sphere of control.
Yeah.
And the real insight, the power, is recognizing that stress often flares up when we fight that reality, when we try to control the uncontrollable.
That makes total sense conceptually. But I can hear someone listening now thinking, okay, great, but my boss just changed the requirements, the deadline's tomorrow. How does knowing what I can't control help right now?
Perfect question.
Yeah.
Let's take that exact scenario, deadline panic. You cannot control that stakeholder changing things last minute. It happened.
Right.
But what you absolutely can control is, well, several things. How you replan the work now, how clearly you communicate the impact, the new timeline, how you break down that sudden mountain of work into smaller, manageable steps.
So like a concrete action.
Exactly. Your immediate tactic could be, okay, pause. List 3 specific actions for the next 24 hours. Maybe it's way. 1, clarify the exact new scope. 2, reprioritize the backlog based on that. 3, tell the team members who are affected. See, that's all within your control.
Okay, that feels more actionable. What about difficult meetings? Someone gets defensive or just shuts down your idea. You can't control how they react.
Yeah. Definitely can't. But again, shift the focus. You can control your own tone. Stay calm. You control the clarity of what you say. And you control whether you ask a clarifying question instead of just reacting back. It's smart to have a little phrase ready, like, okay, let me make sure I understand. Are you saying X?
That buys you a second too.
It does. And it keeps the focus on understanding, on your response, not just getting pulled into their reaction.
Or negative feedback. Never easy. You can't control someone criticizing you.
Nope. But you can control how you process it. Can you pull out any useful nugget from what they said? Maybe. If so, great. If not, you can choose to let the rest go. A good tactic is to ask, okay, thanks for the feedback. What specifically would you suggest I change going forward?
Puts the ball back in their court a bit.
Focuses it.
Precisely. It makes it concrete. And you decide if that concrete suggestion is useful. The deep insight here is you're consciously shifting your energy away from trying to wrestle with externals towards purposeful internal action. That friction, that internal stress, it goes way down. You're choosing your response. Okay, so how can someone listening put this into practice, like right now? A quick exercise.
Super simple. Grab a sticky note or just a piece of paper. Draw a line down the middle. Label one side controllable, the other not controllable. Now, think of one thing causing you stress at work right now. Just one. Jot down the different parts of that stressor under the correct column. What parts can you influence? What parts are just out there?
Okay.
For anything in the not controllable column, actively say to yourself, maybe even out loud if you're alone, I will focus where I can have effect. Then pick just one small thing from the controllable list, just one, and commit to doing it. Like right after you finish listening to this, even a tiny step forward changes your focus.
Right. It breaks the inertia.
Right.
Okay. I like that. So building on that, Focusing energy. The Stoics also had this other technique. It sounds a bit weird at first. Premeditatio malorum.
Yes, premeditatio malorum, pre-imagining troubles.
It sounds kind of negative, like you're inviting bad things to happen. Why would people focused on serenity do that?
That's exactly the reaction most people have. And it's a brilliant question because it gets right to why it's so powerful. See, fear, anxiety. It often grows in the dark, right? In the vague, shadowy corners of our mind where we imagine these huge, undefined disasters.
Yeah, totally.
But when you calmly, deliberately shine a light on what could actually go wrong, when you rehearse potential setbacks, two amazing things tend to happen. One, you might realize the worst case you were dreading is actually not that likely, or maybe not that bad. Poof, anxiety shrinks. Or two, if the potential problem is plausible, well, you've already started thinking about how you'd handle it. You've got the beginnings of a plan B.
Ah, so it makes the scary thing less amorphous, more concrete.
Exactly. It transforms a debilitating, vague anxiety into specific, manageable problems. It's like by looking the worst possibility in the eye, you rob it of its power to paralyze you. You're training your mind to think response, not just recoil.
So it's less about pessimism, more about strategic realism.
Okay.
Okay.
How does this look day to day at work? Say a big project deadline is looming. Right. Instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping nothing goes wrong, run a quick pre-mortem session, maybe 20 minutes with the team. Ask, okay, what are the top 3 things that could derail this milestone? Get specific. Maybe it's the key reviewer gets sick, or that API we rely on is flaky, or the client's acceptance criteria are still fuzzy.
Okay.
Then for each risk, brainstorm a quick mitigation, like let's book the review slot now, even if it's early. Or can we build a simple fallback if the API fails? Or let's draft a 1-page acceptance checklist today and get sign-off. You're becoming like a fire prevention expert, not just waiting to fight the fire.
I love that metaphor. Fire prevention, not just firefighting. What about presentation day jitters? Super common.
Same principle. Don't just hope the tech works. Imagine it failing. What's your plan? Have backup slides on a USB. Know how to present without them. Imagine hostile questions. Rehearse concise answers to the 2 toughest ones you can think of. Imagine running out of time. Have a 1-minute wrap-up ready to go. You're building a little mental resilience toolkit for that specific event.
Makes sense. Even something like hiring, onboarding someone new.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine the scenario. What if this new hire isn't ramping up as expected? Instead of just hoping it works out, have a clear 30, 60, 90-day plan with specific milestones, regular check-ins. That way, if there are issues, they surface early. You can address them proactively, not wait for a crisis. It's about creating peace of mind up front.
So the practical exercise for this one, how can listeners try premeditatio malorum?
Okay, find 10 minutes. Soon, pick one upcoming thing that's causing you some anxiety, a meeting, a deadline, whatever. For the first 5 minutes, seriously, write down the worst plausible scenario. What could realistically go wrong? Be specific. Don't sugarcoat it, but keep it realistic. Then, for the next 5 minutes, list immediate concrete actions you would take in response to each part of that bad scenario. Again, it's not about dwelling on the negative. It's mental training. It's teaching your brain, okay, if X happens, I do Y. Clarity, confidence, even for the unexpected.
Right. So you've got a handle on what you can control. You've prepared for potential problems. What's the third piece? The ultimate Stoic anchor seems to be about the now. Marcus Aurelius keeps coming back to this, doesn't he? Just focusing on doing the next right thing. Seems simple, but yeah, stress really ramps up when we're lost in future worries or stuck replaying past mistakes.
That's exactly it. And the real benefit here, the why it works, is that these short, repeatable habits, they build like an internal buffer zone. So when the pressure does spike, instead of getting totally knocked off balance, you have these little routines, these anchors to fall back on.
Sure.
And these routines almost automatically help you slow your breathing, refocus your attention, get a clearer view of what needs doing right now. It's about building resilience through small, consistent acts.
Okay, let's make that super practical. What are some actual workplace habits people can use, even when they're totally swamped?
Okay, first one, micro-breathing before tough moments. Like before you jump on that deadline check-in call or before a performance review, just pause. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Maybe close your eyes for just 10 seconds. It sounds tiny, but it can genuinely downregulate that fight or flight response. Helps you think clearer, speak calmer. Takes seconds.
Okay, I can see that. What about the beast, the overflowing inbox, that universal panic inducer?
Yeah, for the inbox monster, try the 5-5-1 rule. Set a timer if you need to. 5 minutes. Just triage. Scan, sort, flag. Don't reply yet. Next 5 minutes. Reply to the top 2 most urgent emails. Just 2. Then identify just one action item from your inbox that you can either delegate, schedule for later, or maybe quickly tackle if it's small. That small, consistent progress cuts through the feeling of overwhelm, the churn. You make peace with the flow. You don't try to conquer the whole ocean at once.
Small progress reduces churn. I like that. Okay, what about starting the day right, before the chaos hits?
Try a set one intention practice. Seriously, before you even look at email, take 30 seconds, write down one simple sentence like, today my main focus is finishing the draft of X, and I'll tackle other requests after that. It just frames your day, helps you be proactive instead of reactive, reduces that scattered feeling you get from constantly switching tasks. You're steering, not just being tossed around.
And maybe something for the end of the day. To kind of close things out, I know Marcus Aurelius did his own reflections.
Exactly. You can do a mini version, 5 minutes, end of the workday. Just note down, what went well today? What did I learn, even from a mistake? And this is key. What one thing from today can I just let go of? Use it in a notebook, a notes app, whatever. It helps you process, gain perspective, and mentally clear the decks. Stops you carrying the day's stress into your evening.
So good. Okay, and if stress really spikes during the day, is there like an emergency routine to pull these together?
Yes. The pause, plan, act loop. Super simple, takes maybe 3 minutes total, and you can repeat it. First, pause, literally stop. Take 30 seconds just for deep breathing. Slow it right down. Second, plan. Name one, just one single next action. Be specific. Draft that email reply or review that one document. Third, act. Do that one action for, say, 10 minutes. Give it your full focus. Feeling overwhelmed again an hour later, repeat the loop. Pause. Plan one next step. Act on it. It's incredibly grounding.
Okay, let's make this really concrete. Let's talk about Ravi. We invented Ravi. He's a composite, but his situation is real. Mid-level product manager, totally underwater. He's got 2 huge deadlines landing the same week. There's a critical client demo coming up fast.
Yep.
And one of his key engineers, exhausted, just missed the sprint poll. Ravi's feeling it. Waking up anxious, doom-scrolling project comments.
Yeah, classic scenario. Everything feels like it's spinning out of control. But instead of just spiraling, Ravi decided, okay, let me try these stoic ideas. So first, control. He sits down, lists what he can actually control,
Okay.
the scope he chooses to show in the demo, making sure the test checklist for the demo is solid, how he communicates with the client, with his team, especially that stressed engineer.
Okay, so he defines his fear. Then, that premeditatio malorum thing, facing the fear.
Exactly. He leans into the biggest fear for that demo. What if the API it relies on completely flakes out? Which, given the recent issues, felt pretty plausible.
Right, so he names the fear. Then what?
He takes action based on that visualization, proactive steps. 1, he actually emails the client and schedules a backup demo slot just in case. 2, he preps a little contingency script for himself, something like, okay, it looks like we're hitting a snag with the live API. Let me switch to the cash flows I prepared, and then we can discuss updated timelines for this piece.
Smart preparedness.
And 3, remembering the stressed engineer. He doesn't add pressure. He asks that simple, direct question. Hey, what do you specifically need from me in the next 24 hours to help you move forward? Shifting from blame to support.
And you mentioned the pause, plan, act loop.
Yeah, Ravi started using that religiously. Before every potentially stressful meeting, before tackling a big chunk of work, just breathe, identify the very next step, do it. It wasn't about making the stress vanish, but about managing his reaction to it, step by step.
So the outcome, how did it play out?
Well, during the actual demo,
Hey, guess what?
the API did glitch.
Oh, wow.
But Ravi didn't freeze. He calmly went to his plan B, switched to the cash flows he'd prepared, used his little script, acknowledged the issue openly, and the client. They actually appreciated his transparency and how prepared he was. It built trust, surprisingly. The team got the bug fixed the next day. Deadlines shifted slightly, but everything got done. And the crucial part, Ravi wasn't losing sleep anymore. He felt calmer because he'd focused on his actions, his preparation. He practiced responding, not just reacting.
That's such a great illustration. The stress didn't disappear, the pressure was still real, but he changed how he met it, and that change made it feel doable, not overwhelming.
Exactly. It transformed his experience of the pressure.
Okay, so for everyone listening, let's make this super actionable. If you do just 3 things after hearing this, what should they be?
All right, 3 quick things. First, right now, or in the next 30 minutes, identify your biggest stressor. Write down one action you can take that's in your control related to it, and then do it.
Okay, 1 controllable action. Done soon. What's number 2?
Number 2, do that 10-minute negative visualization, the premeditatio malorum. Pick your top risk or worry for the week. Spend 5 minutes writing out the worst plausible outcome. Then 5 minutes writing down 2 concrete steps you take in response. Write it down, don't just think it.
Got it. Visualize and plan response. And third,
Third, commit to a small daily practice for just 1 week. See how it feels. That 3-minute one intention setting in the morning and that 5-minute reflection at the end of your workday. Try it for a week.
1 week challenge. I like it.
Seriously. Small repetition builds the muscle. Do these consistently for a week, and I guarantee you'll notice a shift. You'll feel less chaotic, more centered, more in command when things get tough.
Okay, fantastic. So, quick recap, everyone. 3 powerful stress tools from, believe it or not, a Roman emperor, perfect for today's workplace. 1. Focus intensely on what you actually control.
2. Imagine potential problems ahead of time and prepare for them. Don't fear the worst. Plan for it.
And 3. Ground yourself with short, consistent, present-moment routines, little anchors throughout the day. Remember, these aren't magic bullets, they're small habits. But practiced consistently, they fundamentally change how you respond to pressure.
And maybe a final thought to chew on. Think about this. Stress often comes from that gap, that mismatch between what we try desperately to control and what we can actually influence. Your job. Tighten that circle. Know where your real power lies. Act strongly within that circle. When you do that, your energy isn't wasted fighting the uncontrollable. It multiplies. And you find this surprising sense of calm.
Love that. Tighten the circle. Okay, if this deep dive resonated with you, please do 2 quick things. Subscribe so you don't miss our future sessions, and maybe share this episode with a colleague you know is feeling the pressure right now. Oh, and those simple templates we mentioned, the controllable sheet, the pre-mortem checklist, the reflection guide, check the show notes or drop us a comment. We've put a link there where you can download them for free. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, breathe, plan, act. We'll see you next time.